let me tell you about an experience I had at an actual seance in 1852 at the home of Isaac and Amy Post. I had been invited, amongst others, to witness Mr. Post's newfound abilities as a seer. We were led, 10 of us, into the parlor, a lovely room, lit only by candles, and we were seated at a large oak table, large enough to accommodate 12 of us, as Mrs. Post sat directly to Mr. Post's left. He said a short prayer, and then went to a meditative state in which he seemed to transcend into a different world. I don't know if you've seen anyone go into this sort of trance, but it is eerily fascinating. I had heard that he had contacted George Washington and Benjamin Franklin multiple times while in this state, and Washington had told Isaac that he echoed his and Amy's call for equality amongst all members of society. I was hoping to hear such words of inspiration from our president, but that would not be the case. Instead, we were contacted by Sarah Sharp. Sarah was the spirit of a girl from Penfield who had been tragically murdered years before. Her story made the cover of the Rochester Daily Advertiser. Miss Sharp lay upon the ground, with her throat cut from ear to ear in the agonies of death, and near her lay Everett's in nearly the same situation, with the bloody knife laying beside him. Both the murdered girl and her suicide brother-in-law expired on the spot. Sarah then told us in vivid detail the account of her murder. I wrote it down so as to review it at a later date. One evening, as I was attending to the duties that devolved upon me while with my sister, I stepped out the door, intending to return immediately, but I was accosted by him that had been the cause of all my troubles, who said he wished to speak to me upon a very important subject. I stepped to him, when he put his arm around me and instantly plunged his knife into my throat, severing the main artery, which at once terminated my bodily existence. My exertions were used to the utmost to part from him, but all was over. He gave no time to dread death, for my fate was sealed almost instantly. I had only time to think he was determined to kill me. The next I knew, I was looking at my bleeding and lifeless body, as well as his. I asked him why he had done this thing. He replied he was determined I should not outlive my love for him. Sarah went on to say, I do wish to warn everyone against the dangers that are strewn in life's path, to shun the unhappy life that I lived, and to encourage all to do what they can to save an erring brother or sister. For depend upon it, each has his work to do, and he or she that lives to elevate, to reclaim, is building upon a foundation that must last them when their bodies fail. There you have it, the words of Sarah Sharp as told through the mouth of Isaac Post. I would not have believed it had I not been there myself. Her story was later published in his book, Voices from the Spirit World. And her story would go on to advocate nonviolence, another social concern of the Post's. It was a remarkable night, filled with remarkable people. And I never felt skeptical or afraid as one might think. Instead, I was left with a calm curiosity, which has stayed with me all my days. Thank you.